on one occasion, Audrey and my two sons hiked all the way into Fiegel. It was a big job to get them in there, and they stayed for a few days and then left. But it was good because they wanted to see the place where I was spending 2 years of my life, and the people of Fiegel were very interested to meet Lenny. They called me Mo Lenny, father of Lenny, and Idung Lenny, mother of Lenny. They wanted to meet her, and Lum, we called him, the other little boy. The family came in, they had a wonderful time, and then they left, and I went with them. And then when I was coming back, Len asked if he could come and just stay with me for a couple months. And Audrey and I talked about it and decided that that would be all right, that'd be fine. And so Lenny and I hiked into the forest. Well, the day we got into Fiegel, at the end of this long trip, it rained very hard. And the Dackeltron, the big river that runs through the forest there, that Fiegel is alongside, and that you cross so often, couldn't be crossed because it was flooded and rushing at tremendous, much more deep than it usually was because of the rains, and much more rapid. Well, that night, Len got sick. And as the night went on, his fever got higher and higher, and I became very worried about him. And in the morning, when we woke up, he was still very sick and had, in a way, lost control of his bowels and his urine. And I was afraid he might be dying. So I talked to the Teduray people as they were waking up in that morning. They knew that what I really wanted was that he would go to my kind of doctor, which was down and along the coast. The trouble, and now in their view, what he needed was for a shaman to go to the spirit world and find out who Lenny had offended, what spirit Lenny had offended, somehow inadvertently, and fix the problem and come back and he would be cured. But they knew that I had some kind of a doctor that did things they have no idea, and they knew I wanted him to go to my kind of doctor. So they organized a group that carried Len out of the forest. Now, because the river was so flooded, they couldn't cross it. They had to go down its banks, and so they traveled for day and night to get Lenny there. It took 20-some hours to get Len down to the coast, and carried him in a hammock, or a kind of a litter that was made by putting a sarong through 2 bamboo poles. And I tailed along trying to keep up with these people, and it was a horrendous trip and a very dangerous trip. These people literally risked their lives along that rushing river, trying to get Lenny down to the doctor. And we did. We got him to the doctor, and it turned out that he had a kind of virulent flu that was not really dangerous, but that had terrible symptoms.
So they gave you a good gallbladder?
They gave me a good gallbladder. They had done this thing at great risk to themselves for a goal which was not theirs at all, but was mine. And it was such a good example of Teduray culture at work. He'd offended a spirit. So while we were carrying him out, the shaman in Fiegel went to the spirit world to cure him. And he got better.